Remember that Miami game years ago where Tennessee came out and ran for a touchdown on the first play of the game? Miami was number one. You thought, here we go. And then the rest of the game was, well, Miami was number one. That's what happened again Saturday. When Tennessee got the lead, you thought, here we go. Dolly singing Rocky Top. Peyton's out there. And then it kind of went downhill from there. We're going to talk about that and many other things. Got a couple of young bucks, future stars in studio in the Volunteer Club locker room. Powered by Spyre Sports. This is the Players Show. All right, so I want to get through the Georgia game kind of quickly, get through the takeaways, and then I want to pose some questions and points that are about overall football program. Is that cool?
Fair.
Nobody wants to sit there and talk about what happened. So let's go ahead and go to the takeaways. You guys talk about the takeaways. It was not a good day for Tennessee. Tennessee loses to number one Georgia, but time to move on and play Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I mean, going into this game, we knew it was going to take Georgia not to play their best game and Tennessee to play their best game to have a chance, for sure. But you still look at the third down conversions that Tennessee's defense has been having trouble with. And you really can't beat anybody if you're allowing offenses to stay on the football field. We saw that last week against Mizzou and then yesterday against Georgia.
You know, we're not used to this. We're not used to our offense not being on the field. We're not used to our offense not scoring points. And 2 for 18 on third, or 2 for 11 for 18% on third downs. That's tough sledding. And then the 41 minutes for Georgia having the ball, they have special people, and obviously they got their guys the ball. Their quarterback played well. We started extremely fast with the play. It was tough sledding for us. I think we knew it might be tough sledding. I just didn't think it was going to be that difficult. And again, our offense has been struggling. We hadn't scored points, so it's tough times right now.
So you guys were visiting with our two guys that are in the studio that I think are going to be future stars for Tennessee. And one thing, I don't know who said it. I was walking through the studio, but I heard one of them say it. I got to get ready for next year because this is big boy football. So I think here's my question. How did Georgia get so good where they're dominating at the line of scrimmage? Is it weight room stuff? What is it? Is it they're all 5 stars?
It's
both
birth stuff.
Yeah. It's genetics.
It's genetic stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you go out, you recruit the best players in America, and that's the name of the game. And Georgia has been able to do that. They've had continuity for the most part with their staff. Kirby is a great motivator. He understands the blueprint. He's at Alabama, but they've recruited at a high level for multiple years now. And Coach Heupel has had really 2 recruiting classes. You can't really count the 21 class because there's like 4 or 5 guys on this team from that class. So Heupel's behind the 8 ball. As simple as that. He has to close the gap.
You know, we talked about that with these guys before the show started of just what do you need to do to kind of get ready to make sure that you're ready to play next year. And that was something that they said, and you'll hear that from them more, is just we have to get ourselves ready to play big boy football consistently. And these guys, and I think Coach Heupel needs to keep recruiting. We need to keep just trying to get guys in here that are going to be able to play because Georgia's doing that. They're recruiting guys that can come in and play now, and those guys are affecting the game.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to transition a little bit somewhere else, just a talking point. It was said during the broadcast, and I knew this was the case, but it kind of hit me wrong when you're talking about Nico getting in the game, and the point is well, you don't want to burn his red shirt. Should we be worrying about red shirts in this day and age of college football with the transfer portal, with NIL? If the guy's good enough, he ain't going to be here 5 years from now anyway. And if the head coach doesn't get him in there and teach him how to play football, he ain't going to be here in 5 years either.
For me, it ain't about NIL or transfer portal. I mean, Nico, you look at his talent, he's not a guy that's going to be anywhere for 4 years.
Yeah.
So
what's the point of a red shirt? Why are we talking about a red shirt? Why is he not out there learning?
That doesn't matter to me. But you put him out there behind an offensive line that's down 3 starters against number 1 defense in the country.
Okay, now you're making sense.
Like that just doesn't sound right. Down already, and the defense is going to pin their ears back, and we're going to have to throw the football to get back into the game. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. Wanting Nico, wanting to see him, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, that's fine. Like, I would love to see Nico play a little bit, but I think you need to handle it the right way if you're Josh Heupel and company.
Do we put too much focus on the quarterback? Because obviously we know what's been invested in the kid. We understand that. But, I mean, here we got Daevin Hobbs over here, and we've also got Vysen Lang who are here, two guys that are well thought of for the future. Hobbs gets in there, plays, makes a couple tackles. At least that's what he says. We can't figure that he did or not. But anyway, he gets in there and plays. We're still looking that he did. He said he made 2 tackles.
We
believe him? Okay, my thing is he plays and nobody really notices.
Yeah.
Nico doesn't play, and you're saying, why are we talking about red shirts?
Well, it's the quarterback. I don't know if the red shirt thing was a smokescreen or what. Like you said, Jason and I talked about this earlier. It has to be done correctly if you're going to put Nico in
Vanderbilt?
the game. In my opinion, I would say yes. I think it's kind of a time where you go, okay, Joe, have a conversation. This is what we're going to do. Put Nico in the game and start preparing for what's going to happen. These younger guys here, I mean, a lot of these guys, maybe they redshirt, maybe they don't. But at some point, you have to see it. Like you said, the want to see it, but you have to do it the right way, and you have to make sure Nico's going to be protected. And then you have to look at the receivers as well.
Red shirt in general. Red shirt, whether it's Nico or whoever, red shirt in general. Is it not different in this day and age than it was when you guys were playing because of the free agency in college football, which is the portal, and NIL, where it's professional sports on the college level?
Yeah, I mean, you can play 4 games and still preserve your red shirt. I mean, when I played, if you played, 1 snap, it was over.
But you weren't going anywhere. You didn't have the freedom they've got now.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about Nico, and you mentioned the investment. Like, I ain't worried about Nico going anywhere. Let's be honest here. I'm sure there'll be people trying to tamper and get him to get into the portal, but like Nico's happy. This is his football team moving forward next year. He'll have the keys, and I don't blame the fans one bit for wanting to see him now, because we haven't had the consistent play at quarterback in the last couple of weeks. Like, I get it. I totally understand.
They're telling me we've got to take a break, but what I want to talk about when we come back, like, you got a game this week, 8-4 a few years ago, man, you would have taken it and run with it.
Yeah, for
okay? And so I think you got to be careful about, being upset with 8-4, because the fan base gets a little greedy around here. Been around here a little while. You know what I'm saying? Let's throw the QR code up, be a member of the Vol Club. By the way, the membership is now over 4,000. 4,041 members, but we got to keep this thing going. Scan the code, be a member of the Vol Club, be a part of the tailgate coming up on Saturday. Swain's over here grimacing. I'll talk to him about it during the break. We'll see why he's upset. We'll come back and let Swain control the next segment, plus our superstar freshman in studio when we come back.
Finally.
You okay?
The Volunteer Club Locker Room is brought to you by the Volunteer Club. Real Vol fans are members of the Volunteer Club. Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, Lincoln Memorial University, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop, where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
Abraham Lincoln knew the power of an open door. He invited the public into the White House throughout his presidency because he understood open doors lead to new possibilities, new opportunities, and new discoveries. At LMU, our mission is to open doors for every student who comes here, so they can become everything they're meant to be. Come discover how we can open doors for you.
Life happens, and damage to your home can be extremely stressful. That's why it's important to find someone who offers efficient, quality work with financing options. Exterior Home Solutions, they value not only family, but community. And they're who I call when life happens, and you should too.
Reach for the power with Dynabody Fitness. New Dynabody equipment is manufactured right here in Tennessee and shipped all over the country. Custom built, rugged, and guaranteed for life. Visit Dynabody.com and experience the difference.
I'm Coach Josh Heupel with Tyler and Will from the Sports Animal.
For UT Info in the afternoon, no one does it like 99.1. From Josh and Swain through Tyler and Will, you're blanketed in orange.
No one covers the Vols like 99.1, the sports animal.
Your roof, it's the most important protection against nature for your home or your business. That's why I trust the experts at Exterior Home Solutions.
Well, this was easy. The Garza Law Firm Play of the Week.
Only play.
The touchdown. There it is. We were off to a rip-roaring start. The place was loud. It was great. And now we'll move on. That was the Garza Law Firm Play of the Week. Okay, so here's what we've talked about during the commercial break is leadership. And I've heard this year after year after year. When Fred White's been on the show, when Terry Fair's been on the show, all the former players that have been on the show, how important is the leadership behind the scenes that we don't see as fans?
It's huge. Coaches can only do so much. Coaches can only be there so much. Players spend time with players, and leaderships and leaders, I mean, they stand out. You know a leader, and you know what it feels like. Those guys have those conversations. They nurture. They put their arm around them. But they also hold people accountable, and they also let them know exactly what's going on. And people know, like young cats, when they see a leader on the football team, they know who it is.
They're scared of him?
Absolutely. Like in the sense of you don't want to try that person. You don't want to cross that person. Yeah. You want to make sure you're doing everything you can so that person ain't coming at you.
So I heard you on the radio the other day, and you were talking about leadership. You guys were talking about leadership, and there was something that was said to you about a guy who skipped practice, skipped a workout, skipped a workout, and then continue on, because I heard it on the radio, and you had me captivated.
Yeah, I mean, our strength and conditioning coach at the time was Johnny Long, and he didn't go to Coach Former. He came to the captains. He came to the leaders and told us so that way we can handle the situation ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes. The coaches can only be there so much. They can only hold your hand so much. At the end of the day, it's about you policing yourself and holding each other accountable. And that's why this team has struggled on the road, because you're going to face adversity. Who's going to be the guy that brings everyone together and says, all right, guys, we got to respond after getting punched in the face?
Right.
Well, you're not seeing enough of that. You can go recruit talent all day long, but you got to have leadership with the talent if we're going to achieve the goals that we want to achieve.
This reminds me of 2005, and we went down to LSU, and we had to play on that Monday night, and it was just absolutely crazy. And we first half, it was awful. And we go in the locker room, and Gerard Mayo, obviously a leader.
This is an overtime game, right?
Dog, somebody who's played a lot of football.
Okay.
Had a conversation in the locker room. It wasn't Coach Former. It wasn't Chief. It wasn't anybody with the team. It was the coaches our way, and it was Gerard Mayo talking. And it was and so obviously the team, we came out and responded. Obviously we came back and won that game, but those are the type of people that Jason's talking about. That's what it
is. God, this is a stupid thing to say. Is it a generational thing? I mean, are you not seeing as many guys like, I mean, I've been here since '96. I've seen a bunch of Al Wilsons and the Jason Swains and the Gerard Mayos and the guys that are those guys. You knew who the leader was at the time.
Yeah, it's a little bit of generational. I mean, I think you look at NIL. The NIL gives players an opportunity to get a taste, get a little piece of the pie, right? Get a little appetizer, get your feet wet, get your mouth wet a little bit. Before NIL, guys were starving, hungry to try to get themselves in a position to play at the next level to get paid. But now you get a little bit of peace, you get a little comfortable, and so that might have something to do with it. I think it's really hard to coach college football now than years before.
Yeah.
But you got to go recruit leaders. You got to develop leaders, and you can't win without them at all.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize. Daevin, Hobbs, and Vysen Lang are here, and I'm going to apologize to Hobbs because I told Hobbs what I was going to ask him, and I'm not going to. Okay, so welcome to television. I'm going somewhere different, and I'm not going to ask you. I want to piggyback the question about leadership. Not this team, not who's a leader, but I want you to explain to the average fan how important is it to have what Jason and Chris are saying, to have a dog leader in the locker room.
I mean, I would say it's very important. Every great team, we've been watching football for years, even basketball. There's always somebody on the team. There's always a great leader, showing by example, talking to the team when we need to be talked to, putting people in their place when they need to be. Just keep everything flowing in the same direction, keep everybody on the same page. It's very important to have on a good team if you want to be great.
Okay.
You know, Vysen, you're a Bama boy. You were recruited high. Obviously, you want to, and you talked about off the show of how you want to get yourself better and what you want to do. What is your expectation going into next year, and what can you do to make sure that you are ready when your number's called?
My expectation is just trust the process, get in the weight room, grind every day, scan the playbooks, learn to play, learn all the plays back and forth, and just come in and move different. When I first got in there, I was moving like a freshman. It was time for me to grow up. Just stay in that weight room, grow up, hang around the right people, and just get right.
I like that response, grow up.
Grow up.
You know, the first thing is can you admit, I got to grow up, I got to get bigger. We're going to send Jason over there. And by the way, don't be scared because he just told you as a leader he was a dog, right? He's coming after you two over in the Food City Player Perspective when we come back.
The Volunteer Club Locker Room is brought to you by Ted Russell Ford, KOC, the official orthopedic partner of University of Tennessee Athletics, Better Mattress, Commercial Bank, Pilot, and KnoxvilleSmiles.com.
You know, life happens, and damage to your home can be extremely stressful. That's why it's important to find someone who offers efficient, quality work with financing options. Exterior Home Solutions, they value not only family, but community. And they're who I call when life happens, and you should too.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
I'm an owner.
I am an owner.
I'm an owner. And we're locally owned. Gray Hodges has been serving the Knoxville area with quality craft-made cabinetry for over 7 decades now. Craft-Made manufactures high-quality kitchen and bath cabinets in a wide variety of finishes with modern and traditional styles to choose from. Visit one of our 4 locations and let a Gray Hodges owner show you the perfect craft-made design to fit your needs. Gray Hodges. Employee-owned, service perfect.
Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair is proud to be celebrating 70 years of serving East Tennessee. That's 70 years of old school customer service, trustworthy auto repair, and of course, great deals on tires. Each one of our 5 convenient East Tennessee locations feature family-friendly waiting areas, and you can schedule appointments and search for tires right on our website at MatlockTireService.com. Modern convenience, hometown values. For 70 years and counting, Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair.
When you're 6'4" and 320 pounds like I am, finding a mattress is a challenge. That's why I went to Better Mattress for help. It's not about just selling big store brands. At Better Mattress, it's about making a mattress that fits the person's body type and their personal preferences. Look, after a big football game, this body is tired and sore. I have to have a mattress that helps me rest and rejuvenate. Big O and Better Mattress. Good night, just got better.
Your roof, it's the most important protection against nature for your home or your business. That's why I trust the experts at Exterior Home Solutions.
All right, boys and girls, it's time for the Food City Player Perspective, and here with Daevin Hobbs, there we go, and Vysen Lane. Guys, thanks for being here. Freshmen, you guys are redshirting. You are redshirting. What have you learned, the biggest lesson so far this season that you've learned this year that you think is going to help you for next season moving forward?
That there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. You just got to learn to be professional about it. There's going to be some people that tell you something you don't like, or some people going to yell at you, but you can't listen to how they say it. You got to listen to like the little things, like not how they're saying it, but what they're saying, and just move forward.
You guys are so used to playing, dominating. You know, high school football, it's hard to be playing in the SEC without being the best player on your team, in your area, in the state. Did you guys kind of have a feeling that maybe it would be different coming in as a freshman, that maybe you wouldn't be the big man on campus? Were you mentally prepared for that?
Yeah, for sure. I came in, my high school days, I was really a basketball player. Like I really didn't take football serious until like halfway through like my junior year when I started getting offers, senior year. So really coming here, like my fundamentals of technique, they weren't all too great because high school I was just bigger, faster, stronger than everybody. So I just bullied them. But then coming here, Coach G really opened my eyes to the little stuff. Like the little stuff is so important. Like hands, footwork, everything. Everything goes hand in hand together. So just you gotta always stay locked on your fundamentals.
Well, Packer was going to ask you this question, but didn't. But I'll come through and ask you about your father, being a principal. What did you learn from just your father being in administration that you feel like helped you in your first year here at Tennessee?
So like growing up, like if you know my dad, like you would never guess he's a principal. Like outside of work, he's chillest man, goofs around, like always playing pickup. Well, it used to be when I was growing up, pickup, programs, all that stuff. So me hanging out with him, like the music he listens to, like it's just he doesn't come across as your typical principal, like 6'5" black man. So he really taught me like when to lock in and handle your business when it needs to. So certain times you can mess around, but there's certain times like gotta lock in, gotta be serious, gotta get what needs to be done. And also just to always be like a stand-up guy. Like whenever you see something like wrong, try to do right. Don't follow people. Always be yourself, because really you know what's right and what's wrong. So just don't follow nobody. Be your own person.
Darnell Wright, first-round pick last year for Tennessee on the offensive line. Was a 5-star coming out, but had his best season last year under Glenn Ellaby. You were in high school during this time. What did you learn from Darnell Wright? How was it watching him, and was that a big reason why you picked Tennessee?
It was a big reason just because, like, everybody can talk about, oh, yeah, we produce O-linemen in the league, but I was able to see it. I was able to get a glimpse of Darnell when I came from bowl season and just see how he worked and everything, just seeing how he operated in the meeting rooms and on the practice field. And even we still watch some of his film, just like seeing like his little like teach tape things, how he does, the little things he does. Like it really helped.
How big of an advantage is for you guys to be freshmen, any freshman coming in, to be early enrollees? You have guys that come in the summer, but you have an option to graduate high school early and come in right there at the bowl season, like you just mentioned. How important, how big of an advantage do you think that it really is for you guys?
I mean, I would say it's a big advantage. Come in, learn the playbook in January, and going through spring ball. Like when I got here, I had to get surgery on my shoulder. I didn't even know it was messed up until I got here. So me coming early, handling that, really helped me too. If I would have came in the summertime, I would have played this season. But coming January, just to see how everything goes, how everything flows, even watching spring ball, like just to see the guys, see how they compete at practice, see just how everything works, I would say is very important.
Basically, just piggyback on what he said, it's the same thing. It's a sacrifice leaving high school early, leaving your friends, but if you know what you want, you're going to do it. So coming in spring and January, just being able to like transition with the weight room, be all the players and everything, bond with them, learn the playbook. So the guys that came here, was it May in the summer? Mm-hmm. It's really because the season's right there. Mm-hmm. So we don't have time to like baby you or mentor you like we had in the spring, anything. So it's either you pick it up right then or they're going to push you back. So it's really a big thing for anybody just come in January and just like hurry and start the transition period to get your body and mind adjusted to college.
Absolutely. Now you can tell these guys are mature. They are ready for next year. They're prepared. The future is bright on Rocky Top.
Yeah, very impressed with these guys. Looking forward to seeing them. Big contributions in the future. Take a break. When we come back, we'll preview the Vanderbilt game. We haven't even talked about the next game. That's next on the Locker Room.
The Volunteer Club Locker Room is brought to you by the Volunteer Club. Real Vol fans are members of the Volunteer Club. Matlock Tire, Gray Hodges, Humana, D1 Training, and Aqua Clear Water Systems.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set. What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
I'm Dr. Mike Costa, Malone & Costa Dentistry. You can find us at KnoxvilleSmiles.com. I'm standing here in front of a dental robot. We're one of 2 dentists in the state of Tennessee that utilize this cutting-edge technology. Do you have a broken tooth, a tooth that's in pain, or a denture that doesn't fit well? Maybe you're a little anxious? You can come in and we offer comprehensive sedation services and utilize this awesome technology to give you precise, accurate care. If you think this technology can help you, visit our website at KnoxvilleSmiles.com. I look forward to helping you.
Knoxville is my home. I was born and raised here, and I was blessed to raise my family here. This community is one that I'm proud to live in and serve every day. At Ted Russell Ford for over 50 years, we've been Knoxville's hometown dealer. Helping our friends and neighbors own their first car or their dream car or truck has been our absolute pleasure. At Ted Russell Ford Lincoln, we will continue to serve our community because East Tennessee, you've always supported us. Thank you.
Visit us at one of our 2 locations on Parkside Drive or Kingston Pike, or online at tedrussellford.net.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
I was the star around here, and so Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Well, Humana goes inside the orange this week with Jalen Wright. He's our player of the game, obviously. The big play to get things started. He's had a great year. Nobody can deny that. Looking forward to seeing him finish out the season against Vanderbilt this week, that 3-headed monster that is the running back room. All right, about a minute to go. Let's talk about the Vanderbilt game. Chris, we'll start with you. Keys to the game.
Finish the season. I mean, we've had a rough time. Finish the season at home. Fans will show up. Let's make sure we go out the right way. Score some points. We've gotten away from that. 7 points. We hadn't gotten really our offense rolling, so we need to do that. And don't play down to the competition. Vanderbilt will play their best game of the season, so we need to make sure we're ready to play.
Yeah, it's important for Tennessee to respect the opponent. It goes back to what you said about not playing down to competition. You got to respect the opponent first. Got to get back to explosive plays on offense. That's one thing last year versus Vanderbilt. Vandy just could not respond because so many explosive plays, whether it's pass or big-time runs. And then take care of the football. Losing the turnover margin is the only way you lose this game. So take care of the ball. Don't turn it over.
I think one thing that players, I don't know if you understand or not, I mean, I've been covering Tennessee for 27 years. It is important you finish the season strong so you feel good about the offseason.
27 years.
So you feel good in the offseason, okay?
Yep.
That's why this game's important and the bowl game's important as well. We'll see you next week right here on the Volunteer Club Locker Room, powered by Spyre Sports.